100 days ago, this forest was nothing more than a graveyard, but with time, it evolved through rain and fire. Watch as empires rise and predators fall. But the real question is, who can survive? On day 1, a tank was created using dirt, a log, and even a fox skeleton. At first, it seemed empty, but life found its way in. The first plant sprouted, and soon the landscape was teeming with animals, big and small. Snails were the first to arrive, munching away peacefully. But tranquility didn't last. Plants started disappearing, not because of snails, but due to a hidden enemy, earthworms. These creatures were on a rampage, wrecking everything in their path. A solution was needed, and so entered the eastern worm snake, a skilled worm hunter tasked with keeping the earthworm population in check. Meanwhile, a magical transformation unfolded above ground. Mushrooms began to grow rapidly. Snails emerged once again, eager to feast on this newfound delicacy. As the battle between the eastern worm snake and the earthworms waged underground, a fascinating ecosystem evolved above. With mushrooms and snails playing their roles. The once peaceful tank was now a battleground, where the delicate balance of life and survival unfolded in a dance of nature's wonders. Inside the log, where the mushrooms grew, wasn't the only place teeming with life. There was a special ant, a queen, and she was like a leader building her own kingdom. She had tiny babies that would soon become her helpers. They were growing fast, and each one would work for her. But there was more happening in this little world. As time passed, the plants in the tank grew bigger and stronger. It seemed like a lot of creatures lived there now, but could they all get along? There was a slug guarding her eggs because other animals wanted to eat them. These animals, crickets, were not just after the eggs, but also munching on many plants. There were so many crickets, it was becoming a problem. But things were about to change. Enter the jumping spiders. A boy and a girl were a powerful team. When they were introduced to the tank, they immediately started hunting. The crickets had good eyes, but these spiders had extraordinary vision. They could see all around them. With a single bite, the spider could make a cricket completely still. Then, it was mealtime. The spiders helped keep the cricket population under control. As the days passed, the ant queen watched eagerly as her first worker ant was about to come into the world. She cared for the tiny ant, guiding her until she could stand on her 6 legs. This new worker signaled the start of many more to follow. After 50 days, the tank was packed with plants, growing so much they were suffocating each other. We needed something big to help control them. That's when we introduced the spike plate millipedes. These large plant eaters were supposed to munch on the excess greenery. Once they entered, they sought shelter in the dense growth, exploring for a safe spot. But one of them wandered near a web, a home belonging to a jumping spider protecting her young. She quickly locked herself in for safety. The tank was evolving rapidly. The plants battled for space while the millipedes searched for a sanctuary. The spider guarded her babies fiercely, sealing her web to shield them from harm. Each creature played a crucial role in this miniature world, shaping its balance and creating a delicate ecosystem within the tank. At the same time, the slug eggs were getting ready to hatch. In this stage, they were see-through, and the little slugs were wriggling around, figuring out how to escape. The first baby slug successfully breaks out, and the others quickly join. As the clouds gathered, signaling an approaching rain, all the creatures needed to find shelter. Rain was on the way, and it was time to stay dry. After the rain passed, many animals gathered for a drink from the freshwater droplets. Surprisingly, even the worm snake made a brief appearance, taking a moment to quench its thirst. The post-rain gathering was a peaceful scene, with various animals coming together to share in the replenishment provided by the rain. By day 80, colorful flowers started blooming everywhere. They looked pretty, but there was a problem. The jumping spiders were struggling to find enough food since the ants were taking over. Deep inside the ant nest, a big group was getting ready. We needed to do something about this. It was time to bring in a new animal that could help. Enter the scorpions. These aren't just any scorpions, they're wood scorpions. They've got strong claws and a sting that carries venom. So, we introduced them into the tank. Carefully, we put them in among the plants. Most of them chose to hide, but one of them ended up in the area where the jumping spiders live. The scorpion couldn't see well, so when the spider came close, the scorpion froze, hoping not to be seen as a meal. The spider moved away, and the scorpion escaped danger this time. But that was a close call. One mistake could have cost its life. As day turned into night, the scorpions came out again. They have a cool feature. They glow under a special light, which helps them recognize each other. But things were getting intense. The flowers were beautiful, but the balance of life was getting shaky. The ants were becoming a big force, and the jumping spiders were struggling to find enough to eat. It's like a big puzzle where everyone's trying to find their place. We hoped the scorpions could help bring back the balance and make sure no one group took over everything. The tank was changing, and what will surprise you would come next. In the darkness, there was a mysterious creature called the ornate harvestman. It searched the shadowy land for any bits of food it could find. As time passed, reaching day 90, the dry season arrived. Rain was nowhere in sight, and the ground started to dry up. We carefully took out every creature from the tank. Not for the reason you might expect. On day 94, a dry thunderstorm loomed, bringing with it a wildfire. The flames rapidly spread, consuming everything in their path until all the plants seemed to vanish. However, from the ashes, a new beginning emerged. The cycle of life was ready to start anew, repeating itself over and over. This was yet another ecosystem we had created. In this world, there's an unseen dance of creatures, each playing a role in the grand scheme of nature. It's a tale of survival, adaptation, and the ever-renewing spirit of life rising from the ashes of the old. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for updates on these fascinating natural journeys. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more captivating ecosystems.